We should actually schedule this though. We should always do it at 7:30 to 8. Just so we always have it in the calendar, because otherwise I fucking forget shit. And maybe we should do it every other week. What do you think? Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, just keep it tight an hour, because like we do these things and we can go for like 3 hours by accident. Oh yeah, and now I gotta watch your stream so I can be. Oh shit, I'm looking at myself. That's so funny. Yeah, right. Can I? Is there a way I can just like look at the chat and not the stream? How do I pop out? Oh, here we go. Perfect. Done. Got it. There we go. I just want to see the chat. Otherwise, I'll be distracted by that video on the side that's showing my own face. To get a bot to do what? Just to tell you that your stream's active? And how much does it cost? Yeah, it doesn't seem worth it unless you're like doing it as a real business. All right. Damn it, Retro. God damn it, Retro. Is he on the? Well, maybe he'll be here later. Who knows? The main guy, Lin Lin Manuel Miranda, right? Yeah. I can I can see that. What was the inspiration for the new facial hair? It's funny. I saw like I watched one of your streams. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "What the? I haven't seen this on you before." Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's why the style though? Like what happens if you just let it all grow? Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Yeah, facial hair is funny because like that it used to be for me too. I used to like it used to not grow at all like right here. So I just have like a weird mustache and then like a chin strap and like it wasn't but then one day it just all filled out. So like it just grows like completely in. It's really weird how that works out. Yeah. You know, it's so funny. I always wondered like you know how like adult men can just have mustaches and it just looks normal? I'm like, what? How is it? Because like, if a young guy has a mustache, it looks weird. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe just one day it grows in properly, and then you just like have a mustache. Yeah, it's not bad, man. Yeah, I mean, there's not no harm in trying it out. It'll grow back, right? If you just shave it, it'll grow back. Oh,
I okay, I was muted, you were talking, so they only heard your side of the conversation. Someone showed
wait,
up
what
in
do you mean?
chat, Ang Lee showed up and said, Theo, I think the way you're capturing your audio is not present to the audience, but is present for your co-host. So only you're listening to me. Everyone else did not hear me at all.
Oh my God.
But we're
Wait,
good
how come
now.
that's so?
We're good now, so it's
Yeah, I didn't see the other pieces of the chat. Oh, I'm like, what the hell?
it might be delayed.
No, I like have okay. I don't know how Twitch works, but now I can see everything now. I like there's this thing that's like I don't know, it's trying to tell me to do cheer or something,
Oh,
and it's covering up the top half of the chat.
oh, I think you should. That's how you chat, Charles. Yeah, you just have to cheer. You might have to like, put in some like payment information, but that's fine. It comes to me eventually.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is confusing. Whatever.
I think you can exit it
Um,
out, and eventually it'll just not bother you again. I think it's like since you're a first time chatter or whatever, it's like talking to you as if like you're interested in cheering.
yeah, it's just trying to upsell me a bunch of shit. All right. Uh
Well,
oh, now I lost the chat.
oh well. Anyways, for those in chat, we're discussing my facial hair, and the one thing I said that made him laugh was I'm terrified of shaving my facial hair to leave the mustache because I don't like. I'm afraid I'm gonna look very creepy and just like a pedophile. So that's why I'm not shaving anything else anymore. I'm leaving it as it is. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
all that you guys missed.
It's very crucial information.
Yeah, very
I
crucial. I
mean,
mean,
but they also missed the part where you said like your facial hair used to not grow, and then you were like, now
oh
you're just trying to figure out what it does.
yeah, well, I think I've said that many times in the past on stream because I think a lot of people keep bringing it up, like, "Oh, you're growing your facial hair, oh, like facial hair streak, this and that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll see what happens." Like, I was curious, but then it's just like, now I want to see how it looks shaved, and I just can't go back. It's like I don't know why. Like, I used to be okay shaved, but after I see myself with facial hair, I just can't like. I don't like myself shaved anymore.
Yeah,
The
it's
one
funny that
The one look I kind of want to see is I was thinking like having like clean head, like a clean shaved head, but it's like that's another thing that's like you'll either look really bad or you might look really good, but it's like I don't know how it would work on me. It's like I
Do,
feel you need to be muscular to pull that off.
do you know what your head shape is?
No. I
Because
have a
like
theory. I have a suspicion how it looks. I don't think it looks good, but it's like it's just the off chance it might be a good shape. I just don't know.
yeah, you gotta. It's all about the head shape. If you have a weird shaped head, then you're just fucked. Then you look like a weirdo. But like I have, you can almost kind of tell, even though I have hair, that I have like a kind of a little point on my head. So like when it's all the way shaved, I have a little pointiness on my head. So it needs a little bit of hair, otherwise it looks weird.
Yeah. It can't be that bad. I've seen this one person who has like a very close head, like shaved head, and he looks so bad. It's like this guy looks
Oh no.
like a mask, and then like how to describe it? It's like you know those like God damn it! I'm thinking of like a it's like a robot like a robotic like a headpiece here, and there's like a face here. I I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. I'll have to draw it.
Are
Just
you
to
describing
show it.
something specific, like a
I'm trying.
specific
I'm thinking of like
character?
yeah. I'm trying to think of like of a show or a movie that has this thing I'm thinking in my head, and I can't think of like what it is.
Hmm. I don't know.
Well, anyways, I think
Um,
it's time to move on to Game Club.
game, is that supposed to be making a noise?
Yeah, can you hear it now?
Yeah. What the fuck?
This is an automaton. I found it. So I'm watching this other streamer that pulls this out and she plays music from this, and I don't know how she does it. Like she can do like all these songs with this thing, and I don't know how to do it. I try to learn it. There's no like tabs. You really have to go with what you hear and like what note you're pressing. So it's like it's insanely hard.
Interesting. Is that a new thing, or have you been playing with it for a while?
It's like I got it a few months ago, so I've just been messing around with it. The worst one, sometimes like now when I stream, if someone pisses me off, I just go to the highest setting and just do this. And it's like awful.
You know, it's funny. I don't know if people in the stream can hear it, but when it goes too loud, it just cancels out in Discord. Like it's not
Oh.
even letting me hear whatever obnoxious thing you're doing. So, yeah.
Well, you're lucky because the highest
Um,
one is like it's awful. It's like nails scratching on a chalkboard kind of high. I don't know
good.
why they have that. It's like the low one is pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't hear that either. I think it's maxing out too.
Uh
Maybe do it away from the mic. The chat says he's lucky he gets silence.
yeah. so so like this Yoshi who always like shows up and says some dumb shit. I just pull this out and he's just like he says it's cringe, but that's the point, kind of.
Yeah. Have you played I heard the new Kirby game was actually good. Did you play it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I love that game. It is so good. It is. I got it just because like okay, I heard it looked really interesting when I saw like gameplay of it. I saw like a lot of footage of it. And it's like this looks really different and unique. I do love the post-apocalyptic world he's in. I just love how it just doesn't like it looks kind of goofy, whatever. So I got it, and it's easy, which is like the point of Kirby, but it is so much fun just to mess around, and you get like the secret road in that game that gets kind of challenging. Like they start throwing like you into stages that are like the whole world that you go through in just one stage, and then the boss of each world is like harder. They give them new attack patterns, so it's a really like solid game, and the co-op is fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds consistent with all like Kirby's always been that way. I've actually never played through a Kirby game, even though they look fun. But like I've heard that they're just like they're pretty easy and they're like fun to like just play through, but it's not like super challenging ever.
I played the one on Game Boy. It's like I think it's Dreamland 2, whichever one you ride a hamster or a guinea pig, and all that. And that one was really good. I love that one. That one I think is pretty hard from what I remember. I think I just kind of dropped it because I couldn't get past a boss, but I don't. That was like
You
a
got
long time
bested by a
ago.
Kirby game?
That was like
Come on. Come on, Theo. What kind of
this
gamer
is
are
back
you?
when the Game Boy Color was a new system, so I mean I wasn't that old.
So you were
Uh,
like 7?
yeah, this is back before I played like hardcore games. So Dreamland 2 was good. I played Epic Yarn and got bored and dropped that. But the one I really want Nintendo to add to the Virtual Console is the one on N64. That one, like when I was young, it scared the shit out of me. Like the beginning of it, it's like, all right, Kirby's at this cool, like cutesy game, whatever. The enemy is this big black fog or whatever, and it possesses one of the Waddle Dees, and the Waddle Dee looks so creepy. It's just this big eyeball, and it's like this thing just came from the sky, possessed this creature, and is gonna kill you. And then like the main enemies are all this big black eyes whatever. It was so creepy. It just it left me unsettled the whole time. Every time I played, I was like, This is so fucking weird." But
I'm sure if we played it now, we'd laugh at it, and it wouldn't be even scary
I
in the slightest bit.
I watched a YouTube video of it, and it's still kind of creepy. It's still kind of like it still triggers a part of me that's just like, oh shit, this is fucking weird. But the thing I really loved about that game was that you could mix and match power ups, and that's a thing they never do again. And it's like that's such a cool idea, and they just leave it for that one game. They never like revisit it. At least as far
Yeah.
as I see. And it's like, man,
Yeah.
that's such a cool idea.
Speaking of N64, it's funny. So I haven't played video games, so this is why I need Game Club, is because I just don't play video games, even though I love them and I want to play them. So I turned on my computer for the first time in like 6 months and like started updating everything and making sure everything's up to date. And I remembered that I have like an N64 emulator on my computer, and I was playing around with some ROMs.
Oh shit.
And I was playing the original Super Smash Brothers, and it's like it's just a perfect game. Like, not to say that it's like the best game I've ever played, but just like everything it just does everything to the perfect level. Have you played the original?
Yeah, I kind of feel the first two Smash Brothers games are like the perfect games. Like Melee really builds off of what the first one did in like
Yeah.
a very like perfect manner. And I think after that they never like touched that fire again. They never really got that spark from me. I loved Ultimate. It's a good like game like multiplayer wise, but I always look back playing the N64 and the GameCube one, trying to unlock everything, and that was so much fun of just trying to get everything unlocked. And even the N64 one, like it was either Ness or Luigi that was like insanely hard to unlock. It was one of the, or maybe it was
Yeah.
Jigglypuff or something, whatever. And those are like really fun. And and Melee, to get Mewtwo, we just left the game running for like a certain amount of time, and then it
Yeah.
gave me the character. And I was like, this I just loved it. In Ultimate, it just felt like they were like either you do the single player or we'll just give you the characters just for turning it on. And it's like that's not fun. I love like doing things to unlock things, and Ultimate, it's like they're just trying to rush you to get characters. Like, all right, Lucina, all right, here you go, Luigi. It's like,
Yeah. I just the thing about like the original I can say for it is like everything's just so tight, and it's like balanced. It's not there's nothing over ambitious about it, and like every character has like there's a purpose to playing every character. Like they're all just so different, right? Like I feel like there's 500 Fire Emblem characters in the newest one, right? Like, and it's like
yeah,
they're just slight variations of each other, and it's just like okay, whatever. But like the first one is just like you play through the single player mode, and knowing how to play the game, it's like it's really just showing you all the features of the game playing through the single player. So it's really cool. Like, and those bonus stages teach you aspects of the character. So like, if you don't know how to go through it already, like I played through it, and obviously I already knew how to do it because like we played this when we were kids.
yeah.
But it's like it's just so brilliant in that you have to employ all the techniques of that character in order to do those bonus stages, like break the targets and board the platforms. And like all the characters control the same. There's like everyone has like 6 moves, but like it changes the experience so much being each character. It's just like perfectly packaged for what it was trying to do. It's just really well done.
Yes.
I'm
Like,
impressed by it.
yeah, like even Melee, like I remember like when playing that game for the first time, the character roster looked like it was a gigantic roster, but and all of them were like felt varied. Like they all had different
Yeah.
moves, and then it's like yeah, it became Fire Emblem pretty much, which I kind
Fire
of didn't
Emblem
mind
Arena.
because I kind of liked the Fire Emblem characters. Like I played as like Lucina, Robin, not Robin, yeah, Robin and Corrin. And I was like, yeah, these are great characters, love them. But I kind of feel like Ultimate at least tried to make up for it by having more characters as well, so it didn't feel that bad. It was awful in the Wii U and 3DS version. That one, that was Fire Emblem Central. That had too much, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Ultimate, like, at least
Yeah,
kind
and
of
I'm not
tried.
and I'm not gonna say that it's like an awful thing. I'm just saying it's like it becomes like overly ambitious and like then it's just like okay, let's add more characters just so people get excited. Like it doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't really.
Yeah, part of me wonders,
It
like,
doesn't add anything, but it also doesn't take away anything. It's just like okay, we want more characters because like people are gonna be excited about it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, what I like, yeah, it kind of makes you think of, like, the whole time Sakurai never wanted to keep making Smash Brothers, like, he was kind of forced to make all these Smash games. So it
Yeah.
just makes me think that Ultimate was the big, like, spiteful game he made. It's like, fuck him. Give him everything. Yeah, let's see if they're gonna want another Smash Brothers after this. It's like, shit, like, yeah, like, because where can you really go? You can't really feasibly expect them to get the same amount of licenses for all these characters every like 10 years. Like, that's insane. So it's like
Yeah.
that just felt like him just saying, "It's the end. If you don't like it, well, too bad. You're just gonna get a game with less characters." It's like,
Yeah. And it's like it almost is like what's the point of adding another iteration? You know what I mean? Like what are they going to do in a sequel
yeah. I
that's
mean,
different?
at this point,
It's
just re-release Ultimate because people will still buy Ultimate regardless. Like just like, oh, the Switch 2 Ultimate like re-release, and it's like, yeah, that'll sell regardless because it's just a re-release of a game that people love.
yeah. But like even Melee, like people I don't even know this might still be a thing, but like there's like a modding community where people still like rebalance and play Melee competitively online.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that got Evo in trouble because I think Nintendo just did not want Smash Brothers at Evo because they were still kind of giving like some attention to the mods. I feel I don't remember because it was like odd one year like Nintendo just said no more like Smash Brothers can't be at Evo anymore. Like we don't want that there anymore. And sure, it was like during the hype of not the hype. That's the wrong word to use, but it's like all those like scandals with like Mr. Wizard and all this shit going on
I don't
2 years
know about
ago.
this stuff.
Well, Mr. Wizard is this big Evo guy, and he got like, in people were like, he got like kind of exposed for like doing a lot of stuff with kids, pretty much.
Oh, of
So
course.
it's like,
I mean,
yeah.
if you play a children's game for a living, then you probably, you know.
Mr. Wizard wasn't a Smash Brothers guy. He was like Street Fighter and like whatever. He was the FGC in
Oh,
general.
really?
Yeah, like he owned Evo for a bit, and then they had to sell Evo to Sony because of that. So it's like it's this
Yeah.
big thing.
I don't know anything about any of those competitions though, so whatever, but fuck it.
So
They're saying yeah.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
Well, I was gonna shift gears to like all the other games I've been playing because I've been playing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I had 2 months ago, either a month ago or 2 months ago, I can't remember at this point. I ended up getting an Xbox Series X. Look, I was able. Walmart had that for so long. Like I just sat there was like, okay, I'm at work. I'll see if I leave work, if I'm at home and I still see this thing still available to buy, I'll buy it. If it's not, it wasn't meant to be. I go home, it's like, oh, it's still there. All right, I'll just buy it. Fuck it. I mean, I'm getting paid the next day, so it's fine. So I got that. Uh, and I've been like doing Game Pass, so I've been playing like River City Girls Zero, not Zero. Whoops. River City Girls on the Series X. I tried Tales of Arise because I found for some reason they kept the whole debacle with the Xbox One version and the Series X version, and not getting the version I needed. I finally played that game on the Series X, and I beat it. And the ending is kind of weak. I feel like everything about that game just kind of whimpers off. I did a whole video discussing about Tales of Arise. Then I played Scarlet Nexus. That's a solid game. It's a hack and slash anime game, which is fine. Uh, but there's one beat 'em up I played. It's called Dawn of the Monsters. It's something like that.
Okay.
It's really good. Like, you just play as like a kaiju, pretty much. Like, you can either be like a giant monster or a mech, and it's an indie game. I think Way Forward published it, and it's actually like, it reminds me just of like these. I've never really played like those kaiju games like oh my god, I'm blanking on the name.
Rampage?
Rampage, that's it. Yes, makes me think of that sometimes. But it's kind of fun. Like, it has co-op in it. It has like a mini story to it, but the art style is really good. I really love that it's kind of like a cel shaded kind of style. So it really sells the kaiju genre, like Godzilla
What,
or King Kong.
when you think of the gameplay, right? It's a beat 'em up. What game would you compare it to? Because I love beat 'em ups, but I'm like super particular about them.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like, I'll say it's not like Streets of Rage or Final Fight. It's because it's kind of floaty, but I really don't know, because I haven't played a lot of beat 'em ups, because I was just stuck with Final Fight and Streets of Rage for the most part. Like, those were the only ones I played, so I know it
Yeah.
doesn't play like that. Um, because you can also like destroy some of the environments. I guess like, the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, was that a fighter, or was that a beat 'em up? Because Just Gamer John brought it up, and I'm just thinking about if that would be a
I never played it.
well, you can like,
Is it on a 2D plane? Like, is it like, do you walk through the streets or
I
like?
I would say it's like 2.5, because you kind of go in like diagonal kind of like directions, but because there's like a forward and back, there's like a you go backwards towards like the back of the screen, towards the screen, like left and right. So it's a fighter. Okay, so never mind. It's not Godzilla Destroy All Monsters
Is
then,
it okay?
but it's a 2.5 beat 'em up, I would say.
I guess I'll have to see it. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, like, because you
It's
can
on
also
Game Pass,
upgrade
you said?
it. No, this one isn't. This one you have to pay for. It's like $40, which
Hmm.
I feel it's kind of steep, but I don't know. I didn't get far into it. I think I'm on the second stage, and it's kind of fun. Like, it gives you a good like collection. I only heard about it because one of my favorite artists I follow, did the cover art for the limited run games for that game. So it's like,
Hmm.
okay, the art style looks cool. It's a big mech. Sure, I'll check it out. And then I played it. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of rad. Um, so I played that, and then so I got Elden Ring,
Okay.
thinking I'm just gonna play until I hit a wall. Little did I know, I didn't stop because of the wall. I didn't stop because of the difficulty or anything. I stopped because I got a 90 gig patch coming through. I'm like, okay, fuck that. I'm done. Like,
This is why I hate. I went on this rant before. This is why I fucking hate consoles. It's like, what's the point if I have to fucking install the game anyway? Like,
yeah.
the whole point of consoles was you pop the game in, you start playing it right away. And it's like, no, you got to install 90 gigabytes of data before you could play the goddamn game. Fuck that. Might as well, you get it on a PC.
Yeah,
Same
like,
shit. You
I
just
like
download the game and you're done.
so I played so from what I've played of Elden Ring, I enjoy the open world of it, because I think that's kind of the fun of it, just roaming around, just trying to find just wherever you want to go. I love that, and I was going through all these boss fights. The one boss fight I fought, out of all of them, like, the boss fights I fought, it just felt like I was eventually gonna win anyway. But this one boss, I was like, I can't beat this person because it's so fast, and I think it's like, I can't remember the name of it. It's like this wolf man kind of looking thing. Um and it was going by so quickly. It's like, I can't I like every time it looks like an opening and I tried to attack, it would just do another attack immediately after. Like it just seemed like I had no clear opening. So I was like, all right, I just gotta like poke it, run back, heal, and then just kind of wait and just keep dodging and just keep poking and just waiting for the opportune moment just to take a hit, and then I could just run back and heal. So
Yeah.
I fought him and I beat him. I was like, holy shit, I finally fucking did it. I then made it to the academy, which is like this magic portion of like the second exploring area. And that was fun, and then I stopped playing it for the longest time because I was playing like Horizon Forbidden West, and then I played Skullgirls, then I played Guilty Gear. I was playing all these games. That's like I never got the motivation to go back to Elden Ring. So then I got a
Yeah.
PS5. I'm like, all right, sweet. I'm gonna pop it in, see what happens. The moment I popped in, it loaded. I'm like, all right, great. I'll go back to this whenever I want to. So I played Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. I played MGS5. I played um Uncharted the PS5 remaster, whatever, all that. And I'm like, okay, I know I'm gonna pop it in. It's already loaded. It should be good to go. So it uploaded a patch. Like it updated like 2 days ago or whatever. At the time I was doing this, I'm like, all right, sweet, pop it in. All right, you got an update. Okay, sweet. And then it says, oh, we can't do it because you need 90 gigs. I'm like, all right, well, delete. So I was like, after
Yeah.
that, I went
Fucking
back to
A,
playing
dude.
Uncharted, and that game,
I,
it's pretty rad. Yeah.
um, it's funny. Like Elden Ring, Dark Soul. I'm willing to believe Elden Ring's a great game, but like Dark Souls is this generation's like Gears of War, or like if we're talking about like early 2000s like Grand Theft Auto, where it's like every fucking game is now just some variation of
Variation,
Dark
yeah.
Souls.
You know,
It's like whatever, dude.
at least like Elden Ring's made by the same company. However,
Oh yeah,
it's funny. Like Elden Ring came out, everyone was hyped for it. I knew some people I was following that were just like, yeah, this looks like a turd. Fuck this game. Like they just were not hyped at all because it was just, I don't know what it was that made them not like this game specifically. But after a while, I started seeing a lot of drop off with this game. Just with people who I've known who played FromSoft, it's like, yeah, like the beginning is really good, but then you start seeing the same enemies everywhere. That it just becomes like it becomes a victim of open world games where it's like, yeah, this is just stuff that they just threw in because it's an open world game. They can't design thousands of new enemies in a world, so
yeah,
it started. So they had to reuse like I saw the same dragon like 5 times, and it's like
yeah.
okay,
And I'm finally starting to see, yeah, like a backlash in general of like sandbox open world games. And I'm kind of happy to hear it because like
that
it's been a long time coming, I think, because it's like everything is just like it's just like go to this spot, now go to this spot, and it's like the same gameplay loop. It's just like
yeah.
I've never been one to like the games as an experience thing. Like I don't care about like observing a world. Like I want to play a game. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah,
that
like
gameplay is so secondary, and it's like I want to just play like a game that challenges me, not like walk around an environment that's pretty. Like I don't care.
so that's
I'll
why
play Myst if I want to do that.
yeah, like it's so they re-released River City Girl Zero, which is I don't remember the Japanese name of the game because it never released outside of Japan. So they finally re-released it because of the success of River City Girls. So I played that, and that game I love that game. It's kind of bullshit. I talked about this to you about this like a few days ago, but that game is so fucking rad. You have like 4 characters you get to switch between by the trigger buttons, but like you have to switch before you die. Once you die, you start over from the last checkpoint in that game. So it doesn't make the game any easier by doing that. It just makes it harder, and there's no health pickups either. So like whatever health you lose, it stays gone until you die. So
Yeah,
it's such a rad game. I was like, I love what this is. I really hope that more games build off of this because I don't because it made me think of like playing Final Fight and even Streets of Rage. It's like, yeah, once you die, you pick another character in the game over screen, and it's like, yeah, like why would I want to do that? Well, this game's like, yeah, play as everyone. Sure, like you play as like Cootie and Ricky, which is the same character. They have only different supers, but they have the same kind of gameplay. Same with like Kyoko and Misako in that game. It's like, yeah, they have the same kind of like moveset, but it's still 4 characters you're alternating between. So it's just it's not 4-player co-op. It's only 2-player. Sadly.
You know what's funny though? I think this is just a re-release of a game that came out in 1994, though. At least from what I read, right? So
Yeah.
you're talking about people building up something from something that came out 27 years ago,
Yeah.
or whatever it was, right? Because from what I understand is, which I've always wondered this about, like, also. It's funny that you were talking about how you don't play a lot of beat 'em ups, but now you're talking about something that's in River City Ransom's series. That's another beat 'em up, right?
Well, I've always wanted to play River City Ransom because, like, it was the dumbest reason because Mega 64 did a skit with River City Ransom, and I thought the skit was like really funny to me because it's like this guy's just doing like a tour of River City. It's like, all right, this is a burger place, pretty cool, whatever. This guy would come back and beat the shit out of him, and then he would drop all his coins on the floor, and he would just say barf, like whatever. And I was like, that to me is kind of funny. I want to know what that's about, whatever. And it's like, oh, it's a NES game. Okay, cool. And I would never be able to play it since I never had an NES. They put that on the eShop, not the eShop, the Nintendo Online Service thing on the Switch.
Whatever.
And I played that, and I do love that game too. Like that game is also like River City.
That's funny because I
Girls,
think it sucks. River City Ransom sucks.
well, I did not get far into it because I got to this point where I don't know where I'm going because I don't remember what I was supposed to be doing. The last time I played it was like in 2018, I want to say.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm running around, I keep dying. It's like, yeah, okay, like I don't really care anymore about this. Like River City Ransom, I appreciate the idea because they try to make it like you get to go in stores and you pick up health food, like food, whatever, and that kind of levels you up as you go. And that's something that they kind of did again in River City Girls, where you go to like a burger place, you buy a burger that levels you up, it levels the stat up. So I do like that. It's like, okay, that's
River City Girls is like it's like River City Ransom I think sucks, and then River City Girls looks like they took River City Ransom and like made it a good game.
Yeah. River City Ransom was the first of its kind as well. That's on the NES, so like of course it's gonna like. I feel a lot of NES games suck ass. It's just that they found a foothold with people that connected them on some level, and then they were able to build up on it. That's why
you know what level that is. That level is a game costs $60 and people couldn't afford. Actually, it probably cost like with inflation, it probably cost like $85, and it was like this is what you get, and then you had to just learn to play it because you're like fuck it, I can't. And now you can just download all that whole entire library and be like, this game sucks, this game sucks, this game sucks. But when it's the only game you own, you're gonna play it and learn to like it, no matter what it is.
Yeah, like
I'm sure some people's favorite game is Bubsy because they had to learn to play
and
it.
They keep making new ones. I don't understand. Even the new ones, everyone's like, yeah, this new one sucks ass. All right, the PS5's coming out. Bubsy. It's like, what?
That's because there's no budget, and they're just like, anyone that has a Bubsy license is just trying to capitalize off nostalgia. They're not gonna make a good game.
But what nostalgia is there? Like it's not even like, oh wow, it's so bad it's good kind of nostalgia. It's like, who gives a fuck? Okay, Just Gamer John loves Bubsy. He says it's dope. So that's one guy.
But like I would say when I was a kid, I had played Bubsy and I was like, this game's not like people. I read later on and people being like, this game is so bad. I'm like, it's not so bad. And then it's like, yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. But it's the same thing of like, I had it when I was a kid, so you just learn to beat it, and then you beat it, and you're like, okay, that was fun. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
But it's not very good.
So it's funny, like with River City Girls Zero, like that. I think that game must have been on like the SNES or something in between that or whatever. Because it's it's just it takes away like you can't go inside stores to do whatever. It's just a straight line. But the one thing I hate about that game that kind of like drove me up the wall was the boss fights are so fucking cheap. because like you could literally be on the same level as the boss, and you could punch, doesn't affect the boss, but the boss could just punch anyway until it knocks your ass on the ground. It's like, oh, cool. And there's no pattern. It's just the boss can do whatever the fuck they want, and you have to deal with it. And it's like, how is this even fair? And even with like two people, it's like bullshit. Like there's one boss fight. It's the hardest fight in the game. The final boss was easy compared to it, because you would go off screen and then do a charge move, and you can't interrupt it. So if you just happen to be anywhere in her hitbox, you're fucked. And it's like, oh, okay.
I have to play this to see if what you're saying is accurate. But this reminds me of Streets of Rage 4 actually has this as a feature, and it really bothers me. Like, Streets of Rage 2 is probably my favorite game ever made, and I really didn't like Streets of Rage 4. And that was one of the reasons, is that like the boss characters and some regular characters too, like have like uninterruptible special moves.
Yeah.
Like they flash if they flash a color or whatever, that means they're doing something that you can't interrupt. And that really bothered me.
Well,
because it's just like, go ahead.
River City Girls 0 doesn't even have that, but they have enemies that do that anyway. So you have that. They don't even tell you. It's just they do shit. Like it's sort of like I see a character running, so like, okay, a jumping kick should stop them. No,
Yeah,
it doesn't stop them. It just plows right through, because you could whiff, but the attack that the enemy is doing can still hit you, and it's like, why?
Maybe that's just the new mechanic in oh, but this is a 27-year-old game, so never mind.
It's just it's such a load of shit, and the block button, so you think, okay, if you hold down block, you block. No, you press it, it'll block, but then the character will just release block on their own, and you'll never know. You don't know when they stop blocking, so you could be standing still blocking, and then the character will just not block, and you'll never know the character's not blocking. And it's like, oh, okay.
Weird.
And then like this,
you said this game was good. You're not making me want to play it.
Look, it's good in the sense that there's things I like about the game that I think are rad. Like the character switching is good. I do like a lot of the like just some of the gameplay of it, but it's not a polished game, and it just feels like like I like it as a like, oh, we're looking in the past with this game, like with that lens, I like it. But if you were to throw me this game and not tell me when it came out and said this is a brand new game, it's like, okay, fuck this game. Like there's no way any developer would just put that in, because there's nothing like that's like, oh, this should be a staple in beat 'em ups. Only like one feature should be, but nothing else. It's like, okay, like it's But so there's that.
The one thing I wanted to say, I lost my thought, but one thing I never understood about these River City Ransom games and all that other stuff is like, they're all part of some series called like Ni no Kuni or something like that.
Like that.
And it's like the dodgeball game too is part of it. And I've never understood what the connection was. I just like know this for some reason. There's a dodgeball game, and there's a volleyball game maybe.
I kind of
and
feel
River
like
City Ransom, and they're all the same series somehow.
Yeah, I kind of feel. Yeah, I think it's
Kunio-kun.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Kunio is the name of one of the boyfriends of the characters. Like Misako's boyfriend's Kunio. But I kind of feel like the developer of River City just had all these sprites, and they're like, yeah, fuck, we need to make all these games, so just put them in all these other like games and say it's the same universe. Who's really gonna care?
Is it like a media franchise, or is it just video games though?
I don't know, because like the other thing that's kind of funny with River City Girls 0, so with this re-release, they kind of added a new animated intro. They added like manga cutscenes, like in the first, like River City Girls. So it has Kyoko and Misako just leading up to this game, like, all right, we got this game, River City Girls 0. It's about our first adventure. It's like, you're playing a game about your first adventure, like, it's sort of like they're making it canon, but they're playing a game up. Like, it's so fucking weird. So they pop it in, they play it. It's like, all right, this is, and then they're like, oh, then Misako says like, wow, my hair was blue back then. Maybe I should dye it back. It's like, what? And then like at the end of the game, they literally call out like a contradiction with the story because it's like, yeah, we destroyed the Yakuza guy that's like the main bad guy of River City Ransom or whatever. So like, why didn't he talk about his daughter? That's in River City Girls. I don't know. It's like
So it's
what?
just like completely lampshading how stupid it is.
Yeah, it's poking fun of that, and I watched it. I'm like thinking to myself, this is probably gonna tie into River City Girls too, because they end with them saying that they pissed off a lot of people in that game, so they have all these enemies they didn't even know they had. So it's like the sequel's probably gonna bring that up and say like, yeah, you pissed us off back then, bitch. It's like, oh, okay, sure. Like, it was so weird and like. If River City Girls 2 channels that weird energy, I'd probably love that game more. I just love weird shit like that. So there's that. In,
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah. One last thing about beat 'em ups. I wish I remember the name of it, but another thing I remembered when I like turned on my computer for the first time in months. There's an indie beat 'em up game that I think is really, really good. And it's like probably my favorite like modern beat 'em up I played, and I forget what it's called though. And there's like a character that's a bull. There's like a woman that wears red, and there's a character that's a bull, and it's really fucking good. I'll send it to you after when I figure out what it is. But it's like it's really good. I really enjoyed that one.
There's one beat 'em up I saw on Twitter all the time that looks really good, and I can't think of the name, but it's coming out eventually. But I was like, man, this looks so rad. I can't wait for it to come out. I think it's coming out later this year or next year. It's like, oh yeah, that's rad.
Yeah.
So there's that.
I've been watching development on a few beat 'em ups. I watch a lot of development on indie games, and some of them just never come out. Like they just get canceled or something. But there's one that I don't know what it's called either, but it's a beat 'em up, and they just put up some screenshots, and I was like, oh, it looks like it's like actually gonna start getting some progress. So I'm hoping that comes out too because it has visually looks really cool. But I'll have to dig up both of those names after.
So the one,
but
there's one
we
game
should start talking. Oh, go ahead.
There's one game I want to bring up because it's gonna be on Game Pass on the 5th. It's called Trek to Yoma, and that looks rad. It's a black and white like 2D like samurai game. Like you're just kind of like hack and slashing your way through enemies, and it looks so fucking rad. And I saw the trailer of this last year, thinking to myself, like, this was during a Devolver Digital presentation. So they were showing Death's Door, Trek to Yoma, whatever. And I was like, dude, Trek to Yoma looks fucking sick. And I'm like, yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, fuck that game. That game is trash. Trek to Yoma is where it's at. That game looks so fucking good. So that one I'm looking forward to. That one I'm definitely playing on whatever. But that's on Game Pass, so there's that.
Okay, cool. Maybe we could play that next. But speaking of games, speaking of what we're gonna play, we should talk about what we're gonna play, which is the spectacular Sparky.
Oh, we're gonna play. Oh, I looked at it and I didn't. No, for some reason I didn't think we were gonna play that game, but
why not?
I don't know. We didn't talk about it at all. Like last time we talked, we didn't even bring it up. That's why I didn't think about it. But
that was the last one we said. But what do you have a different one in mind?
No, I didn't have anything in mind. I was going into this like open mind, so that's fine with me.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean to make it sound like, oh, we're doing that game. Oh, fuck that. We come back to Game Club and we're playing that shit.
Well, that's the game that made me be like, damn, like that. I saw. So I don't know if you ever watched the show Continue. It's a YouTube show. It's these three dudes. They sit on a couch and they play games. And they actually kind of suck at video games. It's pretty funny. Like the reason you watch the show is their commentary and not so much their gameplay, because like sometimes they're frustrating with the way they play. Like you're like, just try this, press this, and they always put the game on easy when they play. And I'm like, who plays on fucking like Spectacular Sparky literally has a super casual mode, and they put it on super casual mode when they played it. And I was like, motherfucker. But it looks exactly like games. It's a throwback to like my favorite era of video games. Like it looks a lot like Gunstar Heroes and like Dynamite Headdy. I don't know if you've played either of them. They're Genesis games.
I heard of Gunstar, but the other one, it's like that. No, I don't know what that is.
You've heard of Treasure though, right? The company Treasure. No. Really? They're the ones that made Gunstar Heroes, but they're like one of my favorite developers. And this game looks very similar to that, and it made me want to play it. So that was like that's when I was like, that's the time that I was like, I'm gonna call you. Like let's set up Game Club again.
All right.
Because I saw that game. So I have to play it.
I do play
Theo
good
doesn't play
games. It's called Skull Girls. You got Persona 5 Royal. That's a good
anything to
game.
do with Persona can just go fuck itself.
But look at all those characters, those party members. They're all
I
there.
don't care.
And then like you have like come on, look at this. You don't think this looks good? And then I also play. Anything else? Oh, I played Resident Evil 4 on professional. So I did that.
Whatever, Theo. Everyone's played Resident Evil 4.
I never beat it on professional. I didn't. It was bullshit. So I played a professional doing I was racing with DSP to see who would be able to beat it first. I was in a monster lead. Like I was like a huge lead over DSP. It was crazy. Like it was insane. And I was so happy. I was like, oh man, I'm sitting comfy. I'm like, hell yeah. The castle set me back a little bit. DSP caught up a little bit, but then I inched ahead again. The one fight that screwed me over is the fucking Krauser fight. That Krauser fight is a piece of shit. You don't know what it is because you didn't get that far into Resident Evil 4. So Krauser is this enemy, whatever the fuck. He's like an army guy.
I remember. I've seen people fight Krauser. I know.
He screwed me over hard because like I got to this part and it's like, all right, oh, you have no ammo. Oh, okay. No, I had ammo. It was the health that was the problem because just before the door to get to the boss, a bum was there. So it blew my ass up into the door and I couldn't heal. Like I couldn't pick up a green herb. I had only one herb left. So I could only tank one hit from this guy. I was so close to beating Krauser. He then kills me. Like he kept killing me over and over and over. To the point where it's like I have to restart. I can't reasonably beat him at all with what I have. I restarted, beat him. By the time I beat him, DSP was already fighting the final boss. And I'm like, this fucking fight ruined my run. It pissed me off. The only downside, the only upside I could say is he played on normal, so he had an easy time playing the game. So it was like, whatever, fuck it. I played on professional on a clean file, so I had to work to beat it. He just coasted. So
do you play against DSP like personally, Theo?
No,
Is you always hating on him?
This game I just wanted to because I just wanted to see if I could. Because I played Resident Evil 4 so many times and I like the game a lot. And I'm like, I just want to see if I can just do it. Because I don't really fight with him because it's like, whatever. He sucks at a game, whatever. Like, whatever. But I saw his, like, the beginning of his Resident Evil 4 playthrough. And that kind of motivated me to do it. Because he played so fucking dumb. It was awful. Because he starts up the game and literally he just puts the controller down. I was like, so, how do I shoot? How do I move? I'm like,
Theo, I think you should stop watching DSP videos.
No,
it's rotting your brain.
I can sit through whatever. Like he can fuck around Elden Ring. He can fuck around whatever. That's fine. It was just there was something specific about that playthrough that just got under my skin. The only time I would ever like really care is if he ever played Skullgirls again. Then I'd fight him. Then I'd try to like stream snipe him. But he's never gonna play that game, so I don't have to worry about that. I did fight him I fought him in Street Fighter 4. He got a double perfect on me, so that was bullshit.
You got your ass kicked by DSP?
Because
good lord.
Because first, I haven't played Street Fighter 4 in a long ass time at that point. 2, I didn't play a lot of fighting games, and 3, like it was lag, so it was bullshit. I fought him in the one that I do remember him playing in Street Fighter 4, he was streaming it saying, like, he got a double perfect on me. And then his chat was not paying attention at all. They were talking about, like, Lady Gaga or whatever. So he was like, well, it would be nice if my chat, like, just saw that I got a double perfect instead of talking about Lady Gaga. It's like, well, at least no one cared.
There's video evidence of you getting your ass beat by DSP and everyone's talking about Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. for sure. And no one gave a fuck. I was like, hell yeah, because they probably thought I was some like child that got bodied, so no one gave a fuck. But
That's so funny.
I fought him again.
Funny.
I fought him again on like Street Fighter 5. Got close to beating him. He beat me. Fought him again in Injustice 2, and I won. So it's been full circle.
At least you got him once. I have a funny story with me and Lady Gaga when it comes to gaming, because when I was playing through Bayonetta a couple years ago, Lady Gaga was playing Bayonetta at the same time, and we both got stuck at the same part. Because like I saw some articles like Lady Gaga's playing Bayonetta, and she was like talking about the part where you have to jump. It's like, I don't know if they're trains. I don't remember what it is, but you have to jump. They're like shooting missiles at you.
Yeah, that part sucks.
And it sucks, and she got stuck at it at the same time I got stuck on it because that article came out at the same time.
It's funny. I only heard about that through Mega 64 because Rocco tweeted her saying, "I can help you out on that part or whatever," and she responded to him. I don't remember what she said to him, and after that he kept bringing up like how he got so close to stardom just by talking to Lady Gaga. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree. Afterburner music is dope. The Bayonetta remix to Afterburner when you do the or is it is Afterburner music, right?
It has to be.
When you do like, but it's the levels attribute to space. No, it's a Space Harrier remix, not Afterburner.
Oh,
do you know the level where
it's like
a running a shooting? Yeah, it's Space. It's a remix of the Space Harrier theme, and the level is an exact replica of the first level of Space Harrier. It's pretty fucking cool. Anyway, how the fuck did we start talking about Resident Evil 4 when we're supposed to be talking about the game we're gonna play?
Well, it's you know what? Hold up, this is not a true Game Club episode. We only touched upon it, but we're gonna touch upon it again. So I ordered a Steam Deck. That's coming eventually. So down the line,
awesome.
It's coming. So that means I wasted my money on the fucking PlayStation TV. I know it. Oh, actually, no. Technically, I did not because I could play Persona 2 actually on it. Now that I think about it, but I can play Persona 4 Golden on the Steam Deck. That's gonna happen,
what the fuck?
And I'm gonna hate it again. So
why are you gonna play through it again? What's wrong with you? You love that game.
I want to prove to my fucking audience that game sucks. Because I played Vanilla, and Vanilla is garbage, and everyone keeps assuring me, oh, they fixed all your issues in Golden. I'm like, yeah, they only fixed one, as far as I'm concerned, which is the fucking shovel time. They made the shovel time better. In Vanilla, it's a fucking nightmare. The game's a nightmare altogether. Vanilla fucking is awful. If you think Golden was bad, Vanilla is far worse. That game makes you fucking hate life. Golden's probably gonna not sway me one way or the other. I'm already fearing the baby again. But
I gotta tell you, they probably just made the game easier because it was just easy as fuck, and I hated it.
It probably is because it's the same show with Persona 5 Royal. They made that game also like easier too, so it's like I could believe that.
Oh. Theo, how are you gonna sit through all that fucking dialogue again? It's so bad.
Because
I don't know how you did it once. I quit in the half of the game. After that like drunk scene, I was like, this game can kill itself.
Because I've seen anime before. It's not my first time in the rodeo with
anime. So have I. It's just like, this is the worst of the worst. You could spend 40 hours doing something better than this. True. The game takes 10 hours to start.
Well, let me tell you about this other game, Persona 2. I played Innocent Sin on the PlayStation TV. I like the gameplay is actually decent. The only thing that I hit a wall with is the game does not give you any they don't help you at all in that game. So there's a point where it's like they tell me like, oh, we need to find the detectives. Where are they? Yeah, I don't know. Where are they? Where are they? And that's it. It's like, where the fuck do I go? I can't find a guide because I don't know where I am in relation to anything. I don't know if I'm on the second dungeon. I don't know what's a dungeon. It is so confusing. Like, it's fun. It's one of these games. It's like I really want to like it because I like the characters. I like the story. It's actually like the only Persona game. Like 2 and 3 are the only Persona games that don't have anime bullshit in it. 4 is the only one.
Well, I don't believe that.
I'm telling
it's
you,
an impossibility to have a Persona game without anime bullshit.
Well, 2 doesn't have it. I'm telling you, you have adults in the
I don't
fucking
believe
party. You have adults, and you have like 6 people in a party at once. It's rad.
All right.
It's good. But I will stand by saying you should play SMT3. That one I think you'd like.
I'm not fucking playing anything to do with Persona.
SMT3 has no story.
Although
It's just...
I did see a game that is it's literally just about like the jack-o'-lantern demon in Persona.
Yeah,
it's like a dungeon crawling game, but it's like an action. It's like a Zelda type game, but you play as like a jack or whatever they're called.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're
the
talking
pumpkin
about.
head things.
Yeah,
yeah.
I know that.
There's an entire game, Jack Bros. It looked kind of cool actually.
Yeah, but you should play SMT3.
But fuck Persona.
SMT3 is not Persona. SMT3, the first 2 minutes, maybe even 1 minute, less than 1 minute, they drop you into gameplay.
You just came John. I'll play your weeb bullshit.
SMT3 is like not weeb at all. It's anti-weeb. SMT3.
I'm not fucking playing it.
Look, all these people who love Persona.
That's what it was. A Virtual Boy game. Also, let's talk about something interesting. I saw a dude. No, but this is why I saw it. I saw a dude. He made a fucking handheld Virtual Boy. He took apart a Virtual Boy. He took the motherboard and he put it in a handheld. It was the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. I'm gonna link that YouTube video. All right, we
got our Persona 4 quota in for the day.
No. Wait. I just want to ask you. No. We can talk about Persona, but what do you have anything else to say about Spectacular Sparky or no?
I don't know shit about this game. I saw it. I saw the link. I did click your link. I looked at it. I was like, oh, this game looks rad. Like it did look interesting. Hold on. I think I might still have the window in my phone. I got.
This was like 3 months ago, Theo. Jesus Christ.
I have so many tabs on my phone, dude. It's insane. I had stuff back when I was playing Persona 3. Here we go. Spectacular Sparky. It's still here.
Yeah, I just because this is we don't remember when we said we're gonna keep it an hour.
Oh, you know what? This game looks like Toe Jam and Earl to me. The sprites do.
I could see that. It definitely doesn't play like that.
All right, so.
Well, we can go into overtime mode. Let's just finish up Game Club so we can go into overtime mode and we can fuck around and talk shit about Persona.
All right,
So we talk about the game first, and then we can go into overtime.
It looks like a beat 'em up from what I saw. I kind of did not expect the sprite first. I don't know why. I saw it. I saw some of the screenshots, but it's like I thought it was like a cleaner sprite. I guess I don't know how to describe it. Like I thought it was like an indie I don't know, whatever.
Goofy as shit. If you ever seen Dynamite Heady. Look up Dynamite Heady right now. It looks just like that. Like it looks like a 16-bit game.
How do you spell Dynamite Heady? Is it Heady like H-E or E?
Headdy. Headdy. Did I say that right?
Yeah. All right, good images. The character looks terrible, so that doesn't bode well. So far, okay. Finally, I see a screenshot of gameplay. Oh god, this game I would just pass. I would have just walked by it,
really?
Put it back down. It just looks.
Dynamite Heady rules. You should try it.
It looks so ugly though. You're saying this looks good?
That's not the character. That's like an enemy.
I know that's not the character, but it's just the whole thing looks ugly. The whole thing, everything in this screenshot looks ugly.
I think it looks great. I love Dynamite Heady. So good. And it has great music.
Okay, the music might...
Gamer John's my boy, because he's all about the same games as me. He's like classics. He's listed out every fucking game Treasure ever made. Treasure rules. They made Ikaruga.
Well, maybe if I play...
I'm more of a hater than Theo, Yoshi.
Look,
so you know.
I'll check it. I check it out because you would recommend it. Like, I will check it out. I'm just saying, like, if I was like in Blockbuster and you were not around, and I just saw that game, I would just put it back down and pick something else up. But since you're saying so many praises about it, I'll check it out, look into it.
You don't have to. I'm just saying this is what attracted me to this spectacular Sparky game. I saw it. It reminded me of Treasure Games. It reminds me a little bit of Contra. Like from the gameplay perspective, it looks like Contra. Or like, you know what it looks like from a gameplay perspective that's modern is Alien Hominid.
Oh.
Have you played that?
I played very little of it, and I liked it. Never went back to it. I'm still bummed because we went to PAX where they had that new Alien Hominid game. That's not Alien Hominid.
We played it though.
Yeah, we played it.
It was Alien Hominid something. What was it called?
I don't remember, but it was just not a true like Alien Hominid game. It was just like another like kind of game with it. And it's like,
yeah, they changed it up so it was like you did quests or some shit.
Yeah.
Like something was different. We did play it, didn't we?
Yeah, because they had a demo there.
And yeah.
And I think we just
it was something.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, it was so. There's definitely clearly it wasn't very remarkable because I forgot it even existed.
I think everyone did
but
it.
Like,
I feel like that also damaged the company because no one talks about them anymore. Like I've never heard of anyone talk about Big Behemoth anymore. Like the only thing that I hear about is they re-released Castle Crashers. It's like okay, like that's their claim to fame, I guess. I mean, and Battle Block Theater was good. I like that game, but even that game I kind of dropped. It's like okay. Like
I beat that. It was actually fucking awesome. It's a great
want
game.
to go back to. I just keep getting bored. It's like I want to play like another game.
But I will say this game. Maybe this will be a check for this game. Is it's published by Nicalis Incorporated. I don't know if you know them.
No.
They they published Cave Story. You never played Cave Story?
I've seen pictures of it.
Cave Story is a classic.
I might have played it like when it was on the virtual console on the Wii, just because I was bored. I don't know. Like that, I don't remember.
Cave Story, I think you can get it for free on Switch. Cave Story. What about Binding of Isaac? Have you played that?
The only thing I've seen that game. The only time I kept hearing about it. I knew the game existing, but now every time it gets brought up, it's always in relation to Chris Chan having like a collaboration with them.
Really? What?
Yeah, Chris Chan did because I think they were doing a card game for Binding of Isaac, and they had Chris Chan do like a card for them.
Did they really do that, or was someone fucking with him?
It was real. Like the actual developer reached out to Chris Chan to do this card, which I don't know how they feel about it now. Which I also learned today. Have you seen the show Smiling Friends?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. I know what you're talking about.
So that show, initially they wanted Chris Chan to be on that show. They tried to reach out to Chris Chan, and they couldn't. It didn't work out. And I'm thinking they dodged the biggest fucking bullet by not like having that work out because of what happened last year with Chris Chan.
Yeah, is that I haven't heard any updates on that.
They keep getting
real?
continuance.
Oh my god!
The only I think the only thing they said was
lawyer.
I think the only thing they said that they did a rape kit on the mom, and I think they said that it wasn't rape, if I remember correctly. But
thank fucking god.
Yeah,
he
thank
didn't
God
rape
it's
his
not
mother.
rape, but
oh fuck me.
But they got Perry Caravello. I don't know if you know who that is.
I don't know who that is, but isn't like Mike Stoklasa from Red Letter Media in it?
Yeah, he's only in one different show. He's in one episode, which is good. I like his character. It's actually I was like, oh wow, thanks for taking me to the amusement park. It really made me. I was like, this is great. I loved everything. It's like you gotta like cut him off. Oh, there's nothing like I don't. It's such a good show. I loved it. I'm glad they got a second season.
All right, so we're going into overtime, so I can just fuck off because
that is the official Game Club episode. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next episode, which is gonna be the week after next. Not next week, the week after next.
Yeah, we do this every week on Monday at 7:30 to 8:30. That's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and we ironed out the kinks. Before it was a nightmare. We couldn't figure out how to talk. It was crazy. But now we learned how to talk.